I won't deny it, I'm a Southsider. You don't wanna mess with me. Got the police looking for me. But I'm calm cause I'm smoking that CBD. Said, I won't deny it, I'm a Southsider. You don't wanna mess with me. Got the police looking for me. But I'm chilling in the back of the VIP. Said, we won't deny it, we are Southsiders. You don't wanna mess with us. Got the police looking for us. And there's nothing that they can do when you're chilling with the Blessed Life podcast crew. What's up, what's good, everybody? I'm Brian Tierney. This is a Blessed Life University podcast, the Blue Podcast for short. Today we're going to be talking about Comedy Christmas. That's the whole deal here. We're going to be talking about, just stuff to make you laugh and think about comedy around the holidays. And especially after, too, when all you motherfuckers get depressed after you got your presents and the shit's over. We're going to be talking about Adriana's upcoming shows, the stress of the holidays, holiday parties, diet, exercise, sleep, hydration. We're going to be talking about stuff with the next generation of youth coming up, the soccer matches, and we're going to conclude on all that. With me today to talk about all that is Adriana Rodriguez. What's going on? What's up? What's good?
What's up? Hey, man, I was zoned out for a minute. I thought I was at a pop concert, but then I opened my eyes and I saw Brian. But I was jamming. Brian, that was a good one. Y'all should have been vibing. If you weren't, replay that again and then come back to this. What's up, man? Thanks for having me back again. Man, all right, you upgraded. All right, I see you. All right, you are Blessed Life. We got curtains in here and stuff. Look at that. We got top shelf over there. I don't even know what's in the globe.
Yeah, the globe. Yeah, that's some bourbon. That is Clark and Sheffield, which is Binny's Beverage Depot's house brand, and they got a regular version and a single barrel, and they're both really good bourbons. I like a bourbon. It's nice to sip on. It helps you relax at the end of a long day.
You talk about alcohol like I talk about weed. The way you just broke it down is how I smoke my weed when I break it down.
Well, I'm actually on sobriety right now, so I'm not drinking. So
nice.
Most people know, especially those who listen to this podcast, I do a Sober October extended out until St. Patrick's Day.
Wow.
So the liver is one of the few organs that can heal or regrow, regenerate.
This is the time when everybody drinks,
I
right?
know.
Right? I mean, in your line of business, there's mad parties going on right now.
You don't have to tell me about it.
I mean, that's interesting. How do you overcome that? Because that's got to be mental,
the hardest
right?
part is everybody trying to force you to take a drink. Like, I want to fucking have a shot with you and fucking let's talk and shit. It's like, I'm not drinking, dog. But I still smoke. I smoke my weed, so I'm feeling good. Like, you got to substitute something.
Yeah.
But, fucking, you don't have to worry about shit. You take an Uber. You're not fucking, getting hammered. Like, you know how good it feels to be at these parties and shit and to be in control of yourself when other motherfuckers are losing their shit?
Oh, my God, yes. I mean, I used to be the one person that would be out of control at these parties. Man, yeah. I used to drink back in the day. I wasn't I was a hot mess is what you like to say now, right? But I don't drink anymore.
I'm hot, but I ain't a mess no more.
But did you find it difficult to turn down drinks? Especially like in Latinos, like in probably most cultures, a drink is like a gesture, right? It's like, that's a welcome. Like, here you go. Like, so, for the longest, it was hard for me to turn drinks down. I felt forced a lot of times. Like, I felt forced to be, because I felt like if I didn't take the drink, that was rude.
Yeah, well, usually what I'll do is I'll take a drink, but I'll tell the bartender to make it non-alcoholic. Like, give me fucking tonic and lime, and let them think that it's fucking, you know what I mean?
Or the juice. Give me the juice.
Yeah, just don't put any alcohol in there. I'll fucking kill you, right?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to drink alcohol. I made a promise. It's easy. I feel good. I feel really good without it.
That's good.
And so, yeah, I'll do that, or I'll drink like a fucking non-alcoholic beer. So usually if they're cool, they'll understand. Be like, dude, it's not like I'm completely clear-headed here. I did have some weed earlier.
Yeah.
But that's a plant, not a drug, as my cousin would say up in Wisconsin.
That's what I'm talking about.
My cousin Maddie. Shout out to Maddie if you listen to this shit.
Shout out to Maddie for the natural drug advice. We love it.
It's not a drug, it's a plant.
Yeah,
yes.
Heck yeah, it is a plant. It's a great plant. Everybody should get some for Christmas.
Yeah.
Your dogs, your cats, your grandma, your grandpa, your mom, your dad. Your badass kid that needs to calm the fuck down. All that.
Yeah.
They got
Calm down
tinctures.
and friggin' love their family and be happy all
Yeah,
the time and
man,
shit like
let
that.
me
Oh,
tell
that
you.
sounds terrible, especially
No.
after everything we've been through with fucking COVID and all this shit. But yeah, no, it's it's nice to have a level head and to not feel hungover the next day. As much shit as you got going around.
Or the
on
joke
around
at the
holidays.
office, right? You don't want to be the person the next day at work after the holiday party where everybody's talking about you.
You don't want to be that person.
No.
You don't
Like,
want
did
to
you see
embarrass
so-and-so
yourself.
throwing up in the sink?
Or even
peeing
worse
in
than
the
that.
alley?
Yeah.
Well, actually, there's nothing wrong with peeing in the alley. I pop a squat. It's all good. It's a natural instinct for us.
It's got to be a fucking HR nightmare after an office holiday party. Like, think about how many instances like sexual harassment
Oh,
and, like
man.
you said, alcohol poisoning,
I've
DUIs.
seen some shit at some holiday parties. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I wasn't a part of it. I just seen it. All right.
Anything particularly interesting?
I've seen people do cocaine in the bathroom. I don't get down like that, but I've seen it. I ain't saying which holiday party. Y'all gonna have to figure that one out.
So you work in the White House with Donald Trump, where the cocaine was at the holiday party, or what? Woo! Ride the lightning with Trump. Oh my God! Can you imagine hanging out with that guy all fucked up?
No, I could not.
Christ,
I
he used to
would
be on comedy roasts.
Yeah, he was.
He had this fucking joke, and so I'm not like politically on Trump's side necessarily. He has some good ideas, but not all. You know what I mean? I'm fucking right.
Yeah.
But when it comes to comedy, he had this fucking line. So I'm trying to give you credit for this here. He goes, "What's the difference between Donald J. Trump and a wet raccoon?" And he's like, "The wet raccoon doesn't have $6 billion." And I was like, fuck yeah. It was the
Neither
most
does he,
G
though.
line.
I think he's going broke.
he had the most fucking G line I had ever heard, son. Like, he was so good at, like...
At roasting?
At roasting...
Well, now he's getting roasted.
At being roasted, so
Yeah.
he didn't, like, take it personally. He was looking for these fucking people to come out swinging, right? All the comedians they had on the roast were going to be talking real shit to him. Now, this was before he was president.
Yeah.
So they had a ton of material from when he was president. But yeah, no. In any event, it was just, he was good at also roasting other people because he had these quick lines.
He looks like he gets roasted by his skin color. You see how red he is? He's fucking baking in the sun every time he's in Florida. Look at him.
Yeah,
so
he's
orange.
a baked potato and shit like
Yeah,
that.
he looks roasted. He
Like a
gets
red
roasted
baked
and looks
potato.
roasted.
Yeah. Yeah, and his campaign speeches are almost like fucking 2-3 hours of stand-up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to see somebody who's like doing crowd work and fucking on the stump
he's
for
a
like...
he's a show business guy. He knows what he's doing. It's entertainment.
Yeah, well, he is a show business guy. He was on WWE before he fucking had,
And
The
most of those
Apprentice.
people are
all that
probably,
shit.
yeah, they have short attention spans. That's why they
Well,
like
he
it.
got really good at that. Like, he likes to master certain things, and one of them is like trying to use humor or charisma to like win people over, which he did, unfortunately. Hitler also did that. Not a good thing. But you know what I mean? But in any event, he fucking, when he's on these campaign speeches, this guy's in his 70s, right? He's got a pear-shaped body. He's fucking a little hefty, right? He's been eating dog shit for a long time. How the fuck does he have this energy at like 70 years old or
He's
whatever?
smoking weed
Well,
or doing cocaine, but I don't know because he's still
Very
fat.
close, I think. So
He's doing both. He's eating a lot and then doing cocaine. That's what he's doing.
yeah, a little bit of both. I guess they kind of cancel each other out.
Yeah.
But I heard on Rogan, and I think it was Joe on there. He goes, apparently Trump had some kind of like injury back in the day, where the doctors prescribed like a form of speed, because like he either needed the energy to do his physical
Adderall?
rehab, or I don't know. It was
Sounds like Adderall.
It was an amphetamine in any event, but anyway. They prescribed it, and like I guess even after he healed, he liked doing it. So I don't know if this is true or not, but they're saying that he still to this day was
Takes
like,
it?
yeah, he gets like it's a pharmaceutical like
Yeah.
basically speed or something.
Yeah.
or
Oh, yeah.
amphetamine.
It's like cocaine. That's what I'm saying.
So
it's
he
like a
gets his-
legal form of cocaine.
It would be crazy if that's true. I'm not saying it is. I'm not
It's true.
assuming it.
I
Most
think it's
likely,
true.
but because he's fucking. Because he's that old and he still has that energy. Like, how many fucking 70-something-year-olds do you know in that condition that can go for 2 or 3 hours in front of a crowd? You know what I mean? Like, that motherfucker.
And maybe if they're not in the U.S., because, in the U.S., we're not the greatest at our health. I've seen some healthy-ass old people in other countries, like some healthy old,
yeah.
I would date 60-year-olds. I don't care. They look good. Women, not men. Women, let's be clear.
You got 100-year-old Japanese motherfuckers
I mean,
and shit like that. They're like 120 and shit.
Look at how we eat in America, We don't have the best. Our food is all processed. Everything is like, I like going to trips in the jungle in third world countries because I know where the food's coming from, or I know who pulled it. The guy from the farm across the street pulled it. You know what I'm saying? I know who killed that pig for me. You know what I'm saying?
Minimal processing.
Yeah, I love it.
Fresh.
I love it.
Do you notice the difference between processed meat and unprocessed meat?
Oh yeah, you can notice. You can notice how your body reacts to things. Like when you put something in your body that's like sugary. Like I'll eat anything, but like I go on like last year I did a couple months of vegan and then I came back. But now I think I'm gonna go back. I feel like I'm by with my food, if that's a thing. But it's just I just feel better, like if I eat something bad. If you notice when you eat a fast food, you usually get tired right away, right? If you
or you feel like you got the shits the next day.
Yeah,
like you wake up and you're like, this is not. This is gonna delay my day. I shouldn't feel like this.
Like, who am I gonna be around? Because I'm gonna be farting all day at work. You know what I mean? Like, how am I gonna hide this one? Yeah. But no, it's real, and that's a sign. Like, you shouldn't be.
No, you shouldn't feel like that after food
at all. Yeah, food should fuel you and give you energy, not make you be like. Like kids, what do people like?
It shouldn't ruin your gut biome where you're messed up the next day.
And it also messes with your brain. Like, if you look at kids, if you give them candy, what happens? They get all cracked out. They're all crazy, like running up and down. And then when they don't have it, they get cracked out. They start crying.
Well, they usually have blown their energy loads.
Yeah.
They're like,
it's like giving them a bag of cocaine, but instead it's fucking Skittles. You know what I mean? So.
No, it's true. And they crash afterward.
Yeah.
Once the fucking liver or whatever filters out all that fucking sugar, finally, then they fucking crash. It's a wild thing we do.
That's like us adults with alcohol. That's like candy to us,
Yeah, kind of. Alcohol is so socially accepted.
Yeah,
like,
I hate it.
Weed was demonized for many years.
I want a sober bar. Somebody needs to open up a sober bar, or who wants to open up one with me? Let's do it.
Well, I guess we could do that. Yeah. I mean,
just
it would
let
make
me
the
smoke
licensing.
Weed in there.
It would make the licensing a lot cheaper because
only
you wouldn't be paying for the liquor
natural things allowed.
Yeah, we don't need them coming in there fucking with just a brick of cocaine. But even cocaine is natural if you don't fucking mix it with anything. It just comes from the leaf.
Yeah.
But
that's scary. I'm not about that.
No, I'm not really either. I'm only advocating for weed, but I'm just saying it may be considered natural.
Yeah,
it just comes from the coca
that's
plant.
true.
If you don't cut it with anything, it feels really pure.
What? What is your go? We're talking about the holiday party. Yeah. What's your go-to drink when you go to these things? Like, what's your non-alcoholic drink, right?
Heineken Zero.
Okay, that's what you get.
If they have it. I'll take other kinds too. Like, I was out at a dinner earlier this week at a place called the Choo Choo in Riverside. And I think they call it that because it's like the train runs behind it or in front of it or some shit. I don't know. But anyway, food was fire. I'd recommend it to everybody. It's over there in Riverside. It's a little best kept secret, but here I'm letting out.
He's plugging you guys. Look out.
Oh yeah, for sure. The food was really good. Had a pork chop there and a couple other things. Like, I don't even like cauliflower normally, but we had the appetizer. The shit was fire. The shrimps were really good. The fucking soup was delicious. I had a French
You're making me hungry right here.
Shit, I ate earlier, and then we'll be talking about eating throughout this whole thing too. But yeah, anyhow, they had some kind of German non-alcoholic beer at this Choo Choo place.
Really?
So I had that. It was good. It was like a kind of.
Did it have like a Belgian taste to it, or like an orangey wheat taste, or no?
A little. It was more of a hint on that side. It wasn't, and I couldn't tell if they used a lot of wheat in it or not, but it was like that kind.
Okay.
It was just more of a mild flavor. It doesn't have that like sharp kind of like sour, little bitter aftertaste you get after a Blue Moon.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't mix any oranges in there or any of that shit. But yeah, I had that, and then if they have O'Doul's, like it's the most basic or that or Sharps. They both taste good.
Yeah.
They're refreshing. It's like
drinking.
The only thing you're not getting is the hit of the alcohol buzz. But
you're still getting
the way I put it to people is like, well, water is bland, especially if you drink a lot of it. Like, also we drink more than we should, and after a while you're kind of like, all right, I've had enough water. I want to change my palate here. You don't always feel like water. You don't always feel like Coca-Cola. I love a good Coca-Cola. You get that shit from fucking McDonald's. They swear they don't have a different kind of syrup. You fucking know they do. It doesn't taste like that when you get it from Jewel. You get your Coca-Cola from Jewel, and it tastes good mixed with ice. Don't get me wrong.
That's what they give Donald
but it's
Trump.
It's a
Coca-Cola
different
from
flavor.
McDonald's. That's the drug.
I don't know. You'd have to have a lot of it. But I have a feeling it's something stronger
So
than
you
that.
like old duels and stuff.
Yeah.
I like mocktails. You know, like with those fancy, restaurants or bars that have like those really drinks that are like made with like real juice. But my go-to drink would be a kitty cocktail with easy ice and 3 cherries. That's my thing right there. That's my jam.
I don't mean to play devil's advocate here, but you just were talking about the sugar a little while ago.
Yeah,
and saying,
that's
fuck all
why.
that.
I take one and that's it.
But what that's the reason I'll do like, the non-alcoholic beers. It's not super sugary. But if I'm doing a mixed drink or something like that, I'll just keep it to something that doesn't have a lot of sugar in there because, you feel better without it. Like I'll just get something with like tonic
club
water
soda,
or
yeah.
club soda or fucking
I just like it because it looks like a drink, so I just be like, yeah. I got it.
LaCroix if they have LaCroix, But I mean, you
Valiant
can make
one.
those fuckers look like drinks. Like it looks like I'm drinking a vodka tonic and I'm not. Basically, what like, my guy is, he says he has a strategy. He goes into these parties or networking events and he's like, he pulls a bartender over to the side. He's gonna go to the same one every time, and he says, I don't want any alcohol in any of my drinks tonight. Just give me tonic and limes or whatever, or tonic and lemon, and friggin' make it look like it's a drink when it's not. And you know what I mean? Like basically is the concept. And so he does that, It's
That's
like,
smart.
because then you don't feel the pressure.
Yeah.
Like everybody thinks you're engaging and shit. But like you made the point earlier.
You said pressure. That's true. I do feel pressure.
Because like it's this weird thing where it ruins
It's like normal.
a ton of lives. It fucking causes people to drive while they're fucked up and do it in an extremely dangerous, reckless fucking way, right? That people get killed in these car accidents. You see this
Not
shit.
even from driving, just acting up at the club, or at the bar, at the party, or wherever you're at. Look, I don't mind people that drink. Like it's normal. It is like you said, it's socially acceptable. I would just like that cannabis and smoking that. That's my thing. I would wish that was more socially acceptable. Like people kind of still frowned on it, which I get. I'm not gonna blow my weed in front of a kid's face. And if I did, that's their fault. They shouldn't be next to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a little kid in a fucking bar, like a straight up bar.
Yeah, like
It's like old men in there.
that's
That's why they don't allow them in. It's only the way this one guy explained it to me is like a tavern or a bar is just a place for adults only, but a pub is short for public house, meaning you can bring your kids. And I don't think that actually holds true. I think a lot of people don't know the meaning behind that language. Like, and I think this comes from like Europe or England or some shit. But a pub is like a public house, or they call them public houses. And then that's where you can bring kids. Though it's supposed to denote that it's
a bar.
pub. When you say public house, it's like that everybody can go in, including your kids. So it's like a bar, restaurant type of thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think the term does get misused a little bit here in America. I think some places call them public houses that don't
But
actually allow
isn't
kids
it in
in.
Europe? It's a bar. Like no kids are allowed in it. Isn't it?
I don't think so. I think they're in
Yeah.
Europe. They're more lenient. Like I heard, they'll sometimes give you like a little bit of wine or beer when you're like 7 or 8 years old after dinner.
That's
or something
true.
like
I
that.
mean, Mexico, they don't give a fuck. Like hell no. I was out there like 14 getting fucked up. You see what I'm saying? Acting stupid.
That's kind of
Went to my
wild.
first drag show. My first
Drag
drag
show.
show was in Mexico with my best friend's mom. I was with my best friend's mom partying. Not my best friend wasn't with me. I was like 14. Went to Mexico. I was getting fucked up. I ain't gonna say who the mom is. Just But it was a good time. It was fun. I was like, I wasn't even gay yet. I was like, is this what gay people do? They watch drag queens look really amazing. This is awesome.
A lot of straight people do that too.
Yeah, and we ran
I
out. on
mean,
our
you'll see a
bill.
lot of straight people at drag shows. Like,
Yeah, I
like
love drag
chicks that
shows.
want to go with their dudes and shit. Like my wife's kind of in. I'm not huge on it. Like I'm not gonna walk out, but I'm
Yeah.
like, it's not my like favorite thing, and I'd rather be watching a band or something else,
Yeah,
a stand-up
I mean,
show.
You just haven't seen them, man. They're fine as hell. Shout out to all the fine queens out there. Yes.
Yeah. No. So, you got a upcoming show this week
Yes.
at fucking Reggie's.
Reggies.
Is that so? Somebody said that's a Jamaican restaurant.
It's a music venue. It's like a music.
That's
venue.
what I
Yeah,
thought.
Yeah.
Somebody's like, oh, it's like a Jamaican bar or something like that. I'm like,
I
what?
mean, they have like Jamaican beer and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
but it is I'm doing a collaboration with Las Locas Comedy, And that's with Janice Rodriguez and Jess Martinez. This is our second time collabing on a show, and the first one was really, really good. And so we decided, hey, let's do one for the holidays. And we're definitely doing a ugly, or is that what we call it, the fail. And if you guys don't know what fail means, F-E-O in Spanish, fail, it translated in English, ugly. So it's our ugly holiday sweater comedy show. So we're encouraging everybody to wear an ugly sweater. We are going to have prizes, so please come out, wear an ugly sweater if you've got it, raid your aunt's or uncle's closet or the thrift store. It's this Wednesday, December 21st.
Doors at 7.
Stores open
Showtime
at 7.
at 8.
Showtime at 8. We got a hot-ass lineup, man. This is some of the funniest comedians, and I know you hear that a lot, but I really truly believe that Chicago has a lot of great, talented comedians. But on the lineup, we got Fab Monroe, Ken Flores, Jamie Shriner and Suz Ballout, along with your co-host, myself. I'm hosting, and then we also have Janice Rodriguez in the house. But again, you guys, come on out to Reggie's Music Lounge. It's on 2105 South State Street in Chicago. So again, it's also sponsored by Ascend. Shout out to Ascend for sponsoring. But it's a good time, right now around the holidays, it can be super stressful. And, this is a time to take a break for yourself and clear your mind and get that laugh in before the end of the year. But, yeah, for sure, man, I truly believe in comedy. It does make people feel better. I know it makes me feel better. Who doesn't like a good laugh,
Oh, man, I do. And I like to see who's talented here in Chicago. Because, I'm sure we got some people here that could really hold their own with national talent. We work hard at it, and I think the city kind of breeds that. So I just pulled up the flyer myself, and I'm looking here. So is that Janice or Janice? Janice. She is like the, not founder or whatever, but like the president of Las Locas.
Yeah, she's founder. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she's the founder. Is it just her, or are there other people?
Yeah, it's her and Jess Martinez, and then I'm part of Bafuera Productions. We got Bafuera Productions, which we also do the Good Vibe comedy show.
Yeah, so you're collabing with them.
Yeah, we're collabing on this one. Mm-hmm.
And so, are you guys taking turn hosting or introducing that night?
I'll be hosting.
Okay.
And then she'll do a set, and then the rest.
Oh, she's doing a set too.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
we have 5 sets on that show. We have 5 comics. Okay, I didn't even realize she was going to be going for it that night too. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if I seen her. Was she at the Laugh Factory last time I saw you? It was about a year back, I think, or something like that, or in the late winter last year.
Maybe, yeah.
Because that was Las Locas. I don't know if she was on that, or maybe the other one.
That's her show. She has.
Yeah,
they have a show every month at the Laugh Factory, Las Locas, and they also do. They do a lot, man. They're definitely getting their names out there, and collabing, I think, is a beautiful thing, especially in any type of thing you do. Especially, I love working with other artists and comedians, but more so I love working with another woman. I think it's important that we are supporting each other and seeing the great things that come from it. So, let's work, ladies. Let's work.
Yeah, I don't think there's a gender difference here. I think,
No.
I think what I've seen here in the Chicago scene is that the women are putting on as much or more maybe good quality shows than even some of the guys here, right?
We just got to make a lane. That's it. We just got to make a lane.
Well, the thing is, like, we're at the point where it's like, women have been independent. Women have been in the workplace for decades now. It's like we've gotten used to it, and this, we're not perfect, but we're better than we were, right?
Yeah.
And we see that, like, you guys do this effortlessly. There's no difference between gender here. It's like you're all putting on good shows and good comedy. So, yeah, I don't know if I've seen Janice before. Same thing with Fab Monroe.
She's hilarious, man. Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen her or not, because here's the thing. The thing that confuses me is you'll see people on Instagram, Facebook, and you get familiar with them because they're popping up when I'm seeing other people's shit. And then
you feel like you've seen them.
Yeah, you're like, did I see him or not? Or was it just one skit or some shit that I saw?
Now all these comedians that you're seeing there, they're all like definitely doing their thing. They're traveling, they're doing shows out of state, so they're definitely making moves for sure.
Ken Flores, I've seen him.
Yep.
In fact, I think when I saw him, I think he did a set over at Fergie and Foz when you were hosting one night with Pafuera. And I'm pretty sure he did a set there. And it might have been one other time. I do like that guy a lot. Like,
yeah, he's funny.
From the first time I had seen him, like, it was his demeanor, his voice, and his delivery. He was like, he'd say "fool" a lot, right? He'd be like,
yeah.
man, you don't even know what you're saying, fool.
Yes,
And he
yes.
would hit you with that, and it was like I respected that because it's kind of like, you know, in the neighborhood or when we were growing up, you had these characters, right? And they'd say something to accentuate everything they said, or it was like their kind of line,
Yeah.
like, or it was like, you know, like when I went to high school, some of the kids would be like, hey, watch who you playing with, Jack. Or like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
or Joe.
I know what you
Watch
mean.
out, Joe.
It takes you back to that time.
Yes, it takes you back to that time. So that's kind of his line. Is like,
Get
you know, the one dude
familiar
would
with
hit you
it,
with that
yeah.
same line, or you'd have a character in
Yeah.
the movie was like that. Like,
He's a character for sure.
That shit kind of, it's like the similar thing to the Puerto Rican dude in fucking Half Baked, where he's like, yo, killer, kill, B.
Yes,
And he would say
yes.
B at the end of everything he said and shit like that. But I am following Ken Flores on Instagram, and that guy's doing really good. I'm looking at his Instagram. Some of his videos have like, you know, 80,000 views or something like that.
Yeah,
and it's like
no.
pretty good for a local comic. I've seen him in the area.
He's definitely making it happen. He definitely is, man.
Good for him. Like, I would love to see that guy like get some really good opportunities to do some really cool shit.
I'm telling you, Chicago's full of great comedians. Everybody in that lineup. There's more. I mean, there's so many more. That's why I feel like Chicago's a perfect place for comedy. You know, there's so many stages you can get on. There's so many different rooms you can rock, and that helps you out. And there's so many ways to network. So, you know, other than other cities, like, you know, if you go to LA, you're going for movies. You go to New York, you're going for more like, you know, stand out, like getting more into it. But here's like the breeding ground to get it going, and like the training ground to master it. That's how I feel.
You feel like it's good because of the rooms we have
Yeah.
and the appetite we have for comedy here. It's just a vibrant market.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of rooms to work, a lot
Like
of
you
places to
start
grow.
here
get
and
your
then you
material.
branch out.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
Like look at like our music too. Like you start here, you branch out. You know what I mean? But they're bringing film back in Chicago. Like they've got a lot more shows in Chicago that they're filming. Like, you know, 50 Cent's filming his stuff over
yeah.
here.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, I mean, but in all, man, Chicago. If you guys, you know, don't just go to my shows. Go support all Chicago comedy, or even comedy in the burbs. Like I said, we've got a lot of talented comedians out there, and just support it. You know, there's nothing better than to have your own hometown people make it. You know, like that's awesome. And I hope you guys definitely do get some time and support these artists out there and these comedians.
For sure. I know I will be on a continued basis. You know, I think that guy Ken should probably be touring. Mm-hmm. You know, it'd be great if he could feature for somebody on tour or whatever.
He's already touring, man.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if he's like large ones or just kind of more like Midwest.
No,
or
he's going. He's traveling for sure.
Good for him. Good for him. I wonder if he does it full time or.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, don't know. Then we have Jamie Shriner.
Yeah, she's hilarious. She does a lot of parody type things. She's just like a theater person, but so much comedy. She's got some good stuff.
I'm trying to remember. Was she?
She could sing. She'd be rapping. She'd do it all.
Oh, okay. I think I have seen her. Was she on the last show you did with Los Locos at Laugh Factory when I was there that time?
Yeah,
I think I remember her.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
she was on there. So I've seen her too. She was
a
good.
Nut, man. She was
good. My wife
yeah.
was laughing like goddamn crazy when she was on.
She should be on SNL. I swear, she's got that personality.
She probably could. Like she had kind of that personality where it's like you could work real well in the skits.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You have a
great.
fucking character that you play, right? You know, like
she is a character for sure.
So it'd be awesome to see her again. I know she had that fucking crowd lit up. My wife was laughing like crazy. I thought she was funny. Then lastly on there we have Suz Ballout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen her. Is she from around here?
Yeah, she is. She's from Chicago.
So all these are Chicago comics? Okay, because I remember on previous shows you had like somebody from Indiana.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have people who are in from out of town.
Yeah, sometimes you know, comedians will hit me up, or I know someone that I'll put on a show and they're like, hey, I got somebody from out of town. Can I put them on? And you know, I'm never gonna say no. You know, like that's the beauty of it. It's just like you meet so many people, you make so many connections, and you go to work. You know, to me, the best thing that I love about comedy is being able to provide a space for people to practice and perform. You know, like the best place to perform is in a live audience, right? So it takes a lot to create that, you know, but it's even more awesome to see the comedians appreciate that. Like, thanks for providing that outlet, you know, so.
Yeah, it would be cool to to show hospitality to the out-of-towners, and hopefully they'll do the same for you, or maybe connect you with a show. You could be out in fucking Indianapolis or fucking Cincinnati or someplace doing a show on that. You were telling me that. Yeah, I remember. I think you did play Indy, right? You were in Indianapolis.
I've been there before.
Fucking.
And I came right back. Came right back.
Yeah, it was just a one-day thing, right?
I was like, coming right back. I'm not even staying.
You had
it's scary over here.
It was a little
too
rough.
many nothingness over here. There's not even trees. There's fields. And I don't see Mexicans or black people.
In Indiana?
Yeah, not in that area. I don't even know where I was at, but it was just, I just had to come back.
Yeah, I don't know, it's maybe a little like socially segregated or something, but they're there, right? Depending on where you go. Like I know a lot of Mexican friends of mine, a lot of the realtors are getting their license in Indiana. They have clients moving there.
Yeah, because everybody's moving there because Illinois is expensive as fuck, man. It's not made. This state is not made to retire to. No, hell no. I'm moving to fucking Florida. I want to retire to. And everybody's like, there's Trump country. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Did you look at the map? That shit's everywhere. Trump country's down the block, motherfucker. Open your eyes.
Yeah.
Shit, let me go hang out with alligators. Shit. I'd rather hang out over there. Shit. I don't know. Sorry. I'm just all about like the warmth. Yeah. But it is expensive. And that's funny you say that. I know
you could get shot in Chicago or you could get bit by an alligator down there.
I think I would take my chances with the alligator. I think so too. I could rock one limb, one arm. I got this.
Human beings scare the fuck out of me though. That's the one that's scary. Like the animals, I know they're dangerous. Some of these motherfuckers be hiding like sheep and fucking like a wolf in sheep's clothing and shit. You don't know that they're a fucking predator. Next thing you know, you're fucking getting shot at in the street. Jesus Christ.
I think about it all the time. Like, where do I want to die? Like, straight up. I don't even think about where I want to retire. I think about where do I want to die? And I think about it. And I say, either the jungle or the closest thing to the jungle, Florida. You know what I mean? Like, I love, like, the jungle. Like, I love that type of atmosphere. It's so peaceful to me, even though it's kind of weird, you know? I just like nature. I like that nature. I know there's the hiking nature, that's cool, but I need palm trees in my
I'm more of the hiking nature guy, but also, I do enjoy going out for like, on the lake or some shit. Yeah. But like, you gotta understand with this white ass skin.
Yeah, that's true. You're gonna turn like that shirt red as hell.
Yeah, it's happened before. Like a straight up lobster in that bitch.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
The thing is, you have to like,
You belong.
You have to, I can't swim before 5 p.m. You got to wait till the sun goes down and shit. Wow. Because literally the water magnifies the burn. And it also washes off the fucking sunblock. So I tell all my friends, like, you need to fucking dry off and then reapply. But it says on the bottle it's waterproof. Yeah. I know what it says. But fucking fuck around and find out, bitch. You know what I mean? They can make all them claims you want. Yep. We ain't there to fucking help you after you got fucking burnt to skin cancer or whatever, right? Yeah. So anyway... Yeah, no, I'll fucking, if I'm going to swim, it's going to be fucking after dusk or whatever. Yeah. I have to apply, a lot of fucking sunblock to make sure. I used to caddy and shit.
I put coconut oil on me.
Coconut oil?
I'm glistening out there. I'm like, let me get darker. Let me get to my native roots.
Yeah, Brazilian model or some fucking thing with fucking oil all over themselves, just like golden and glowing in the sun. But yeah, no, I have to lay it on thick. I have to lay it on, and I have to put it on multiple times, too. If I'm out there, the longer I'm out there, I'll put it on twice or whatever, and, so you gotta be cautious. Yeah. I don't, you know what I mean? And another thing is I don't like fucking snakes or spiders or any of that shit you'll find in the jungle. Fuck all that. That's creepy crawling shit, you ask me.
I don't know. I like that stuff.
Yeah, well... There's different kinds of good, I guess, and different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, opossums, I can't get down with opossums. You see
they're
that?
Nasty
They're scary.
Exactly.
Too. An alligator, they're not so ugly looking. They're like, they're kind of cute.
Yeah, I've never been up, like, really close to one, but we went to Fort Myers, Florida for a wedding. A few years back. I think I might have seen some around the fucking pond or some shit, you know what I mean? Or a little fucking...
They don't mess with you.
Usually not.
No, if you mess with them,
if you get close, they're probably like, who the fuck is this? Am I going to have to bite a motherfucker right now? Am I going to have to bite a motherfucker? Yeah. They start running off ass at you like a little alligator, get your ass. That would be terrible. You ever watch that show, like Gator Hunters or whatever the fuck it is? There's a show, and it's based out of, like, the bayou in fucking Louisiana, and it's just a bunch of, like, cool redneck Cajun dudes that go down there and they just fucking hunt alligators, and then they bring them to market. They sell the meat, so they eat that down there. They'll make like gator balls, bread it on the outside, fry them up.
Gator bites,
yeah, gator bites and all that.
I had gators, not
Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to try it just to see how it was, just for myself. But I mean, it's like one of those things where it's kind of like basically tastes like fish or chicken or something probably. But yeah, so they like put bait in the fucking near the like riverbed
It's
or
gator
down into
or
the water.
crocodile? No, it's
Gator,
right?
yeah. And they'll put like chicken, and it's a spoiled meat, actually attracts their attention more, so because they could smell it better or something like that.
Yeah.
They can, or more quickly. So they'll use like fucking meat and let it sit out there, and it gets all rotten, and all of a sudden the fucking gator comes, gets it. They have to shoot them behind the head, like, so their head's here. They have to shoot them right about where the neck is to kill them with one shot. So it's like they're not like suffering a lot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if you get them right in that area, it's a kill shot. And then they drag them in the boat. They bring them to market. They sell them for like $300 a fucking gator or something like that. Yeah. They'll come in with like 15 of them in a boat, making like, sometimes the bigger ones will be like 500 because they're or more or whatever. I don't know if I'm messing this up. Sometimes less, sometimes more. Small gators, and they make all this money. So the meat gets sold, and then they use the skin for like gator boots and fucking Prada shit or something, whatever they make that out of. You know what I mean?
Man,
and women's shoes.
I just went
and guys' shoes too.
kayaking with alligators recently.
Gator boots.
That was fun.
And a pimped out Gucci suit. Ain't got no job, but I stay high.
Speaking of high.
But yeah, they use that for the gator boots and shit too.
That's crazy. Well, the closest I got was recently I went kayaking with gators with my friends in Jupiter, Florida, and that shit was cool as hell. Like I saw the gator, like, you see where your sign is at? Maybe like a little bit further, like maybe a little bit.
That close?
That close.
Were you in a boat and they were on land?
No, I was kayaking. Like I had to make sure I didn't go that way because like.
I wonder if they'd like jump up at you.
No, they don't. That's they wouldn't obviously let us be kayaking if they were gonna attack us. But
yeah, that would be very.
I ain't gonna lie. I was high and a little nervous. I was trying to act cool, but I was really like, fuck. I'm either gonna die today or I'm not gonna die today. But fuck it, I'm gonna try because I feel like I'm gonna die because of these motherfucking hemorrhoids. So it doesn't fucking matter. So fucking made it. But it was cool because they don't bother you. They're like people. Like, don't fuck with me, I won't fuck with you. That's how I feel the gator was. And I'm like, cool, I ain't gonna fuck with you then. Shit. It's simple.
Well, if you fall out of the boat, though, that could be a problem. I think, like, if you're down in the water, or out of the kayak, like, you might become more tasty looking or something.
Shut up.
Right? Well, because it
really?
happens, like, on that show.
But over there, they're shooting them, so they know that they're coming to get them. See, over here, we're being peaceful.
Well, sometimes they get bit by accident because they're too close to the side of the boat, and they'll get their hand caught, or they think it's dead and it's not, and it's playing dead, and it'll fucking get them. Like, they got this small one in there, and I don't think it was like fully dead, and it bit the guy, and this was just a small gator. He was fucking, you could see the blood coming out instantly. It was just pouring out onto the boat, and fucking, he was on there. He's like, oh, I'm bit. And then he's like, help me. So he's got his hand in his fucker's mouth, and he's trying to, like, relieve the pressure with the other hand because it's starting to hurt. And fucking, the other guy comes over with a screwdriver. They have to, like, pry his shit open. Oh, my
God.
And,
that's crazy.
Because you got to be careful about shooting in the boat because you could put a hole in it.
Yeah, and then everybody's getting
and you're just like, gator meat at that
gator
point.
meat. They're like, you want gator tots? We want meat, motherfucker.
Gator tots, yeah, that's basically what they are.
Oh, wow.
No, I want some tater tots.
It wasn't that bad. It was cool. It was super cool. I like things like that. Like, I like to see animals you're never going to see, like things like that. Like I recently went to Egypt in August. Yeah, in August, and I, like, rode a camel by the pyramids of Giza. Like, that was cool, so... That's
where at?
In Egypt.
You went to Egypt?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
It must have been a cool trip.
Yeah, it was.
I would do that shit because you're out there looking at that shit that was probably invented by the Martians and all that.
Yeah, I didn't say that shit. I was being on my best behavior. I was acting straight as hell over there. I didn't want nobody to know.
How do they build these pyramids and these fucking sphinxes and all that shit out here?
It's
just
cool.
like some advanced fucking alien race from the future that just said, fuck it, we'll leave it to these people who are out of here. You know what I mean? They're getting out of there. They got out of there before COVID and fucking nuclear war and all this shit. The aliens are smart. Wherever the fuck those motherfuckers are at.
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna wait till this planet goes down and then we'll make another one happen.
It's like, let them kill each other.
Yeah.
We'll be somewhere
else.
It's
working.
yeah, no shit, right? You got fucking Ukraine war going on with Russia. China and fucking Russia are doing joint military operations together, like exercises. They're flying bombers and shit together recently. It's like, that doesn't look sus at all. You know what I mean? Like, Russia built up on the border of the Ukraine for, like, a couple of months or something, at least a month before they fucking went in. And it was like kind of like, all right, let's see if they do anything, and if they don't, we're just fucking going in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, they build up the military force there. Every day goes by, they get bolder and bolder, and Putin's like, probably, this is the date we go in. You know what I mean? and then it's fucking set in stone with the Russians, and that's it, we're doing it. And they fucking go across, and no Ukrainian response until they advance, like, into fucking civilian populations and shit. So, but then you start to see fucking Russia and China doing it together. You're like, fuck,
shit.
is this, are they going to help you fuck with Taiwan? Or are you guys getting ready for World War III? They got India involved, other countries as well. And it's like, you start fucking wondering, right? Because
that's why I want to move to the jungle and get out of this.
Smoke,
I want to live in a treehouse.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know about living in a treehouse? Is that what you're saying? You rather live here?
Well, I'm saying,
I'd rather live in a treehouse.
You know, like, if shit was really, really bad, probably rather be in the United States than anywhere else, you know? Like, got more guns here than people.
Yeah.
We got fucking...
I'd rather be off the radar.
We got a lot of natural resources.
In the jungle,
you know, like,
kayaking in the Amazon, you know, hanging out with my alligator friends.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on where we're all instantly dead. But if there was just a strike somewhere in the world and, you know, the fucking radiation got up in the atmosphere as particles and started coming down around the world and shit, which probably already happened during, like, Chernobyl and all that. But in any event, as far as infrastructure and shit during war, like, we have electricity here. We have all these things that, like, you know, would probably make it easier to survive. Or you can go out into the fucking wildernesses here.
Yeah, and do it natural. The natural way. That's what I'm saying. They're going to start teaching
that shit in school. Survivalist classes and shit, dog. Like, motherfucker, I don't use, like, 98.9% of the math you ever taught me in my life, but I don't know how to go out there and skin a deer and shit, dog. You got to teach me, you know, they teach these kids if they ever had to fucking, you know, get the fuck out of the city or whatever. You know what I mean? I mean, they're probably watching YouTube videos, you know what I mean? Some of your best weed growers out there might be fucking minors, you never know. They got a closet and fucking, they got one plant and one light and they focus on that one plant until they've, like, mastered it and shit.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, unfortunately, it might be the opposite because, you know, this generation is being ruined by the crack cocaine of Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and fucking, you know, TikTok and fucking all this bullshit. Yeah. Like, the attention spans are fucked. We're looking at, like, the worst dribble of society in these fucking videos. These girls like, oh, I'm doing a dance, and I'm, like, crossing my eyes, and look at the implants I have. Like, it's just dribble. It's fucking mind pollution. Yeah. It's like, I'm not saying they're not hot or whatever, or they're not good looking. I'm not saying that.
Platforms do help artists and comedians.
Oh, I agree. That's the thing.
You know, it's definitely elevated a lot of people's careers.
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I feel like
there's no control over who sees the content.
Well, I feel like that the positives might, or the negatives might outweigh the positives.
People are more concerned with body image and, like,
well, what I'm concerned about is that that a cell phone is addictive in the same way as a drug is or as gambling is.
Yeah,
so, like,
that's true.
People sit there when they gamble and they're getting a dopamine rush every time they take a chance. It's a thrill of playing and the possibility of winning. You get this big dopamine hit in your head, and guess what happens? When the money runs out or the dopamine hits over, people walk out of those fucking slot machine places with their head hung low, and they don't want to make eye contact with anybody.
Do you feel like
you blow your dopamine, you're not happy anymore? I think that's happening to kids.
Do you feel like
I think they're literally using all the dopamine they have, and then regular life is not that fun for them, or they don't have the dopamine to engage in it, to be, like, socially willing to, like, talk in person. Like,
okay, that's interesting.
I'm finally starting to feel the divide between our generation and the younger generation.
Okay.
Some of the other generations who are closer to us in age had a lot more in common.
What do you notice about it?
Communication through electronic means and things that would normally not be and things that would not normally be all right in real life. Mm-hmm. Like if you worked with somebody or you were in a relationship with them or you were going to break up with them, some people just ghost them. They don't respond at all, as if they're dead, and the silence is supposed to be the message in and of itself. But what human beings crave is to learn from a lesson. What was the reason, so I can fucking internalize it and see if that's an unchangeable part of myself or something that I want to change. Yeah. That's the problem. I think it's, like, real superficial, and I think it's shortening attention spans. I think it's bullying doesn't end at 3 p.m. anymore.
You know what I feel? I feel what I've noticed. I feel like it makes people really, like, the generation, I feel like they're really sad. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like we came from a happier time, or we just were a happier time. We were a hopeful generation. Like, I feel like our generation were hopeful, you know? And I feel like that generation you speak of is that I really do believe they're sad as hell. I'm like, they feel sad all the time. Like, why you guys so sad? Like, what are you so sad about? Like, what's going on? Like, you're alive.
I don't know that they're seeing, like, a grander scheme. I don't feel like there's a real vision in this country right now for what this country is and where it's going forward. I don't think there's
Like,
I don't think the government that's in place right now is giving a younger generation hope, pride in their country,
so they feel
and
like
the desire to change it for the better in the future.
Yeah.
I think they feel like they're just here and they're stuck with the system they have.
That's
and that
true.
they have to fucking survive.
That's a good way
because
to put it.
If you read some of like the polls and interviews with younger people, like teens or Generation Z people, they're talking about entrepreneurship and shit, or like other ways to make money or like hustles without having to go to school because of the debt and everything that's involved. And it's crazy for younger kids to see that. I mean, there's a lot of good jobs you can get without a college degree making $70,000, $80,000 a year, which is not chump change, especially if you manage it well. It all starts to add up, right? If you get yourself a couple investments or whatever the fuck you do with your money and grow it, like you can do well. You can get ahead, even without going to college. Whereas, think about what has happened in this country. Doctors, lawyers used to be in this eminent position. Now they're coming out already saddled with debt by the time they even start working.
Yeah.
So you have these people that used to be financially powerful because I talked to a judge that went to the same law school I went to, and he's like, you know how much I paid or how much student debt I had when I came out of law school? He's like, 10 grand. 10 fucking grand. I have over $230,000 of student debt. The money you pay barely chips away at it. So you used to be coming out, you pay off the 10 grand real quick, and then now you're making profit. You have more, as a mindset, more of an ability to invest in shit. So that's kind of all been turned on its head, and I feel like the younger generation, consciously or unconsciously, feels like we haven't made a good enough social contract with them, that there's nothing really there for them going forward. So there's this weird thing of despair, and then there's the cell phones, which are violently addictive. My cousin took the phone away from his daughter, and I've never seen such a violent resistance. She was like 16 at the time, but it was like she was under like being like violently attacked or raped or something.
Really
That's
mad.
how violent the reaction was.
Yes, like a tantrum,
But
right?
think about the addictive nature of that then. That's like what crackheads would do to fight for their bag of crack so you didn't flush it down the fucking toilet or something.
Man, this shit's
That's
nuts.
the same fucking grip, right? So there's no warning label on that shit. It's not in anybody's interest. Like, do you see the shit that's going on? If you watch Twitter and saw the fucking protests in China over their fucking, like, authoritarian crackdown, lockdown policies or whatever they had there, they were literally, like, doing everything they could to get the Apple workers to go back into the fucking factory because they wanted to keep on cranking out phones for the holidays, for beyond that.
Right.
And the friggin' social unrest, these workers were probably working in bullshit conditions, doing the same shit over and over again, going insane, and fucking, we'll wrap up in a couple minutes.
No, you're good.
And just trying to get them back to work, and then fucking, and the whole time everybody else is protesting and they're taking the streets because they were sick of it. And it was actually really cool to see the resistance there. Like, they don't really have weapons. Like, here we have the ability to defend ourselves if the government's getting fucking outlined. They don't even have bats, really. I don't even think, like, baseball's not a thing over there. They don't really, they make them and they ship them here, but they don't fucking, you know what I mean? So when they're resisting in the streets, if they have to, like, step up against the government, they're fighting with, like, the barricades and shit that are there, or anything they can get their hands on to swing at them. So it keeps them a little more tame when you know mentally it's not safe for you to get into a physical altercation or, like, an armed altercation with these people because they have the superior firepower. But here, like, my dad always said this old saying. When the government fears the people, you have democracy.
Right.
When the people fear the government, you have tyranny. And that's what you see, like, in China and different places like that. So, like, that's why I'm, like, all about the ability to defend yourself. Like, if they can have that gun to enforce their laws or to come out with the military, then why can't we have it? Like, these are the people who are going to be cracking down during violent resistance, and they don't always get it right. You know what I mean? So, like, that's why I believe in, like, equal power, the equality of being able to, you know, right? Whatever. But that's a whole nother kind of topic for another time. But in any event, like, to circle back to the youth, I just feel like as a country we're a ship at sea without a moral compass. We got to make people have pride in the values of this country, the freedom that we have to like do what we're doing now, to do shows, to be creative and innovative, without having to worry about it or be censored for it, and gives people something to believe in again and to be proud of and unify people. We don't have that right now. The younger generation doesn't see it at all, I feel. And we really got to change that. Like, gives this younger generation something to work for, to be to that's worthy of them, know, as human beings. So I believe we have a lot of work to do, as a society. But
that's why I do comedy.
There you go.
Because it brings everybody together. White, black, everything. Rich, poor. You a hoe, you not a hoe, you thinking about being hoe, you at the show, you know what I'm saying? Like, it brings everybody together.
If you're going to be offended, then don't go.
Yeah.
If you already know you're offended in general, and specifically you might be. Then,
that's the thing, too.
I'm not trying to exclude anybody, but don't ruin the show for everybody else. Like, we're there to fucking listen with open hearts and open minds and have a fucking laugh.
I think a lot of us take things personal in life in general, whether it's at a show or from your friends or at home or from your partner. Like, what I've learned in the years of getting older, because the more older you get, the more hopefully lessons you learn through life. And if you ain't learning shit, something's wrong.
Yeah,
but like, I've been reading a lot of books, and I keep thinking about a lot of the messages they say, and they say, don't take things personal. And when we do, that creates a lot of problems. And we all do that. It's just a natural thing to do. But I've learned to not do that, and it's like checking yourself and telling yourself, don't get mad at that. Like, why are you taking it personal? Because a lot of things aren't personal. A lot of things are just projections from other people, or it's just something being said to you that's just a business thing or whatever it is, or a friend. We just got to not take things personal. I think that's the biggest thing here, for myself and for people in general. Like, if we're going to try to move forward, we need to move forward with having conversations, but understanding that a lot of those conversations are going to bring things up that we may not agree in. But don't take it personal. We're just trying to talk through it,
Yeah, I think another skill that would be really helpful to have some kind of...
And that, again, boils down to communicating. How are we communicating? We're not, because we're on our fucking phone all the damn time.
Yeah, and it's different there because you wouldn't say the same things in a text message you would to somebody in person.
And it's different in person.
And it's different.
Tone.
Yes, you get to understand whether the person's... You get to assess their intent better because of eye contact and stuff. Like, whether they're being, nice, kind, fake, passive, aggressive. It kind of comes off, but you don't know for sure in a text message, and it's much easier to take things the wrong way. But yes, you got a couple good points there. One is... don't take things personally. The other one is comedy is one of the universal languages, I feel. So I'll nail on kind of both of those points. As far as like how we talk to each other and everything, I'll do my little outro in a minute or two, and that's one of the topics I always touch on anyway, is like kindness is contagious. So in any event, I was just in Dunkin' down here a couple blocks away from the office, and the people I get to know them there, I'm friendly. Like, I understand that, like, my attitude and the way I interact with people, I am in control of the outcome of the situation the vast majority of the time. Like, I mold reality to be how I want it. I want a nice, kind reality. I'm going to be nice and kind when I go in there. And guess what? It's usually reciprocated back. Right. Even sometimes when these motherfuckers are having a bad day, I seen them stressing a minute ago or two, and I just stop and I slow things down. Hey, how you doing? Good. What can I get for you? And right away you've taken them from a level where you're like, fuck. Because sometimes you have these Karen-ass bitches who come in the fucking homes. So the other day
and they could be dudes too. I don't know if they're Kevins. Are they Kevins? What are their names? It's almost
more embarrassing because
Karens or Kevins?
My dad was a man's man. I'm a man's man. And I fucking like that characteristic in other people. And somebody who's going to come in there fucking running their mouth out loud and embarrassing somebody in front of everybody else or putting the spotlight on them or making them nervous or ruining the fucking rest of their day, it's a very unbecoming characteristic of a man or a woman for that matter. But this one happened. She comes in, and I don't know what she did. I don't know if she was using the washroom or somebody one of the workers came out of the washroom. She's like, I need to speak to a manager. And like, I didn't even do it justice right now.
Yeah.
Like, it was her tone. You know what I mean? Yeah. Right away, I'm like, man, maybe I should interject earlier because I did get into it with her a little bit. But I waited until she started getting out of hand.
Yeah.
which it took a while to get there. Like, she had a conversation with the male manager. There's two managers there. One's female, the other one's male, and they're both there that day. So she's talking with him, and he's like, okay, we'll get you, we'll get you another coffee. We'll get you some donuts. And the other manager had seen the camera. He didn't. I don't know if it would have changed his mind the way he treated her. But the lady, when she was in the drive-thru, she took, like, a bite of one of the donuts and threw all the rest of them out the window on the fucking ground and the box. And she came in, she said her coffee's not hot, which is weird because every time I go there, it's fucking 200 degrees, right? You can burn yourself with that shit. And fucking throws her shit out the window, all disrespectful, and then comes in. And so she talks to the manager, like, all right, I'll give you the new shit. I felt like if I was behind the counter, I'd have probably told him, I'll give you the donuts and a new coffee. Right after you go out there and pick up the fucking shit that you threw out your window.
Yeah.
Disrespectful as fuck.
Yeah.
So she starts yelling at them. Like, I know these people. They're friends of mine.
Yeah.
So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I can't stand here and listen to this shit. It's infecting me in my fucking mind. I'm a paying customer too, goddammit. I like a fucking nice, positive environment. I don't need to be soaked in your negativity.
Yeah.
Like Confucius said, don't walk through my mind with your dirty shoes on. I'm like, fuck you, bitch.
Hell
I'm standing here, you're getting all fucking loud, starting to, curse and swear. So I'm like, ma'am. I'm having a hard time standing here and listening to this. Like, could you please, like, chill out? Like, lower the tone down. They're giving you the friggin' donuts and a new coffee or whatever. I'm like, if that's what you wanted, you don't have to be this way. That's so much extra. And she starts getting all fucking mad. I'm like, you need to be positive. I'm like, that's some negative ass shit. I'm like, nobody needs to hear that right now. I'm like, I want to hear fucking positivity. I'm sure they all do too. These motherfuckers are working like slaves in there. Yeah. Sometimes there's like a crew of 4 or 5. The fucking drive-through lines out there through the fucking front because it's either hard to find workers or whatever right now.
It is hard.
So they're kind of working on skeleton crews or fucking, trying to. There's a lot of turnover.
Shout out to the hospitality and
anybody in
service
hospitality,
industry people,
fast food,
fast food,
because do they keep the country running right when you need food on the quick and then you need your
I'm
coffee?
one of them.
Fuck yeah! I just went before we did this podcast earlier. That's how I was running behind. I didn't have my coffee. I wanted to sit down like a civilized person, fucking drink my coffee or whatever, and then I would feel good. I'd have the energy to kind of get everything else ready. So I did, but and a lot of them are younger, you know what I mean, and shit like that. It's like
we're humans. We're people too.
No wonder they're fucking depressed coming up because they're fucking, they're working hard in these jobs, and you got people like that coming out and being rude to them. When the fuck in America in our lifetimes was it ever acceptable to be that fucking rude to people over some bullshit fast food? Like, is that how bad your life is? There's a lot of people who need help out there, man. Mental help and fucking financial help too.
Mental help. You said
because
it,
they take it out on everybody else. Like, my guy Matt, I wish he was here today. He threw a holiday party for some of his army fellow soldiers in Wisconsin this weekend. But it would be great to have him on. When I was talking with him about the situation in the military, they do after-action review, which is like kind of the fancy name for the shit we all do. Like, you'll kick a scenario off your homie and be like, hey, what do you think about this? Or you want to hear their perspective. You don't even have to ask them. They'll probably hit you with some knowledge, right, that you didn't even think of in that way. Or you can just, what would you have done type of thing. Well, when he heard me telling the story, he goes, if you got somewhere to be, then go be somewhere. Because she was like, oh, I got to go and this is slowing me down and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, you chose to come here, and there's a possibility that shit might not be exactly how you like it, even though I think she was full of shit anyway. And if we're talking about the truth value of the situation, I think it was 0. Like, I know the coffee's hot, and she's like, the fucking donut was so stale I could barely chew it. Like, it almost cracked her tooth. I was like, get the fuck out of here. No. And she wasn't bad looking either. That's the problem. She was actually good looking. And I'm like,
those be the ones, man. Those be the ones.
I don't know. I usually feel it's people who have
those be the ones.
Larger physiques or, the older ones or something. But in any event.
Those be the ones.
And I was saying that as nicely as possible. Yeah. But no, it was just very unbecoming. It was like, you're physically beautiful, but you're so ugly, like mentally and in your heart that you're disgusting. Yeah. You know what I mean? It ruins us.
It's real.
Yeah.
They're out there.
So it was bad. But I guess, sometimes the greatest injustice happens when good people don't speak up or good people don't do anything. And then, like, the crew after that whole situation was over, like, dude, you're the customer of the year. We fucking love you, man. I'm like, yeah, man. I fucking know you guys. And I'm like, that's fucking, nobody's going to check that shit. Like, that's part of the thing that's fucking wrong, too. Everybody sits back and they'll film shit or whatever, and they'll chill in the corner, fucking mask on, filming shit, but they won't say nothing.
It's hard because being on the flip side, on the server side, or it's hard because you don't want a bad review. That's what people will do. People will film it and say something, and Like it's people like you that make a difference, you know. And like it sucks, you know. It does. But I always look at it like they're going through something. Whatever they're going through ain't on me. You know, when that happens, if that happens to me, I'm just like I'll joke about it. I'm like, all right, you tripping, not me. Cool, have a good day. Like, you know, like it takes a lot to be like that, though.
It does.
I say it like it's easy because it's easy for me. It takes a lot to get under my skin, but like again, I've learned to, you know, kind of getting better at mastering that, and a lot of people don't know how to do that. A lot of people take it personal, and that's why I say like you got to train your mind. The most powerful thing you can train is your mind. Your body's second, but your mind keeps going, and you got to keep that first. Then your body will follow, right? That's how I see it. So definitely read and smoke your weed.
No, I agree with you. You know, the challenge for me in my job, you're dealing with other lawyers, you're dealing with clients that are, you know, fucking disrespectful sometimes and shit like that, is to control your emotion and remain calm, try to reason with them. But at some point, you can't be a doormat either.
Right.
And I talked to my staff here. The one day this lady called up and she was yelling and she was really loud on the phone. I'm like, turn the volume down on that right now. Like, you put it on speakerphone. I'm like, the minute I could hear that fucking loud yelling, I know it's like the lady in fucking Duncan. No good reason to be on that level over this bullshit. Yeah. It's like, this is not life or death. This is fucking financial, bitch. You know, money comes and goes. Time doesn't. You know what I mean? Time, once you lost that, you never get it back, right?
Right.
So that's why it's so valuable. But, or one of the reasons anyway. But in any event, like, you do have to be in control of your emotions, so I practice my yoga breaths and shit. They'll be on the phone going real loud, and they expect me to, like, come back real hard at them. I'll try not to. I'll admit Matt's better than that because he's in the military and he does, like, de-escalation training.
Oh, yeah.
So he's had formal training on how to de-escalate situations, and I've seen him do it in person. It's a beautiful skill to have.
Yes.
You know, or to practice at because, you know, police try that, and sometimes you know, it doesn't work out for whatever reason. You know what I mean? I don't know if they get enough credit for that either. But in any event, he's really good at it. I have to work on it a little bit. But I'm still, I believe in the line between trying to be reasonable and not being a doormat. Like, my job, like, I've worked too hard and put up with so much shit in my personal life and in my work life that I'm nobody's doormat. Right. Like, I don't have a fucking second for it. And people think, like, choosing not to hang out with somebody or fucking, well, whatever is, like, the passive-aggressive way to do things or whatever. It's like, no, I just value myself so much that I'm not going to subject myself to a negative environment. Right. If that person's toxic, like, I don't need to be around them. Fuck them. If I happen to bump into them, okay, that's fine. But I'm not going out of my way, you know, or I'm not planning it, that's for sure. But you know, it is what it is. We got the show this week. Again, it's this coming Wednesday.
Yes, this Wednesday.
Let me pull the flyer back up. This coming Wednesday, December 21st, 2022, at Reggie's Music Lounge in Chicago, 2105 South State Street. Mm-hmm. That's 2105 South State Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60616. Doors at 7. Showtime at 8.
You can go to laslocascomedy.com/tickets to buy your tickets. And this, again, is a collabo with Las Locas Comedy and Bafuera Productions. And shout out to Sen for sponsoring.
I should have started at the top of the flyer.
No
but
worries,
you
I got you.
We got a list of local killers here.
Wear your ugly sweater too. We're gonna have prizes. Dig for mine.
Yeah, I've been wearing this red ass Blackhawk shirt because it's Christmassy because it's so red.
I love it.
But we got a lot of killers on that lineup. So if you're in Chicago, definitely stop on by Reggie's this Wednesday. I guess I'll wrap up and then turn it over to you. If is there anything you want to say about social media, where people can find you, any of that?
Yeah, you could find me on IG at I Am Funny Ha. That's IAMFUNNYHA. That's my handle at IG. That's pretty much where I put most of my funny stuff at. And that is my Snapchat too. So if you want to get to know me more on Snapchat, you can hit me up there. But yeah, come out to the show, and thank you again to Blessed Life, podcast, for letting me be on this show. This is always a good time. I am a little high right now, so I'm feeling good, man. But man, it was fun. But please, if you can come out this Wednesday, would love to see you guys there and bring out your ugly sweaters. But yeah, that's all I got, man.
Comedy Christmas, and then any more shows coming up after that?
Oh yeah, you'll be
on the
seeing
horizon?
some more coming. January, I'll be kicking off some stuff. So stay tuned for some projects that I'll be working on for sure.
All right, so if you want some more comedy, there will be some in January and beyond as well. So we're gonna sign off here. We were just talking about this. This actually the topics turned in an awesome directions here. We don't get to control the world's oil supply as a resource. There's other resources, lithium. We don't control that. But I believe that as people, as human beings, we all together control one of the most powerful resources in the world, and that's kindness. And it's free. It's this currency that you can choose to have billions of, right? And, the thing that I've learned in my life that's probably the biggest lesson is all emotions are contagious. Kindness, happiness, jealousy, fear, anger, giving up, like all these things are contagious. So that's why you have to be very careful about the, emotions you project. And, I always tell people, I've been able to get to places in my life, getting along with people of all different cultures and races and genders and all this stuff just by starting from a position of kindness and respect. And, I tell people, how do you know if somebody's all right? You check in on them. It's communication. You just say hello, see if they're all right. You could assess whether maybe they're a threat to you or whatever just by like making that first move and being, whatever, proactive. You might know if they're depressed or if they're feeling genuinely good or if they need interaction. So communication and kindness and respect are very powerful things. You can't help others until you help yourself. So, take care of yourself, take care of your family, your community. Good people make each other good. So be good to other people and
Be good to yourself. The most
be
important.
good to yourself. Be good to everybody else. Friggin' may truth and reason prevail. Merry Christmas. And tune in next time to the Blessed Life University podcast. We love you. Peace out. Merry Christmas.
Peace out. Merry Christmas, motherfuckers. Yeah.
Boom.